Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Saturn Slam review. After a brief hiatus, we are back talking all NXT goodies that we've missed out on. No Dominion yet. Peter has not watched the 74-minute Odyssey.
The feature-length match.
That is Kenny Omega versus Kazuchika Okada 4. Or Jericho Naito. Briefly, I'll say that they were both good matches, but 74 minutes is too long for a wrestling match, in my opinion. When I have to take a break after the second fall, you know your match is too long.
Jesus. Oh. But we're not talking about that tonight.
We are not. Nor are we talking about any G1. I've only watched like 2 matches from the G1. So, don't hold your breath on that. We'll watch the finals, but I don't have time to watch all 50 million G1 matches.
There's too much wrestling. This is only providing further incentive for us to abandon main roster WWE at the slightest provocation.
Oh yeah, it's circling the drain. We'll talk about it when we do SummerSlam predictions, but I am like about ready to blow a fucking gasket. If you haven't noticed, we haven't been reviewing many main roster pay-per-views lately. That's because they fucking suck so bad. When did wrestling fall off? 2016 was such a good year for wrestling. And 2017 was okay. We had a good tag team scene, and now 2018 is completely devoid of merit.
They all died in Vince McMahon's purge. It's legal on his property. He made sure of it. So every year, all the writers, there's no laws, and he just hunts them with a fucking shotgun.
But
whoever survives gets to make the next card.
As bad as the main roster has been this year, NXT has been that good. So we've got 3 shows to talk about today. We will catch up on everything this week. So we'll start with the show from July 18th, 2018. So we start with... that's not right. Yeah, okay. My notes are out of order. So they run down the thing. This was originally scheduled to be main evented by a fatal 4-way between Kairi Sane, Nikki Cross, and Candice LeRae with Bianca Belair. But Bianca Belair was injured and not able to compete in the match. As far as I know, they just didn't want her to be beaten. But I don't know why she can't be in there and just not take the fall. But they pulled her out of the match. I think she was back from her honeymoon at that point in time. I'm not entirely certain on that timeline. Nor does it really matter.
Yeah. They're just like, I wonder if they just gave her a bonus. They're like, take the extra, week or something.
Take the extra week, yeah. Lacey Evans defeated Dakota Kai. Kai was on a bit of a winning streak, but they cut the legs off of that real quick.
Can't let her get any head of steam.
No.
She needs
so much for my theory that they're going to put the title on her WrestleMania weekend. They still may. I think of the group of like really developmental women they had there, the Lacey Evans and Vanessa Bournes of the world. I think she's the most ready to hold the title.
Yes.
But whether or not they put it on there. Yeah.
At the moment, they're treating her like wrestling veal. You can't let her develop too much. You got to keep her enclosed.
No, and like we'll get to it on this week's show, or last week's show rather. They just let Baszler bury her on the mic. I was like, ugh, yeah. I'm gonna look like an idiot because I said they're gonna put the title on her in WrestleMania.
I put my hope in her, just dashed it.
That seems like all right. We'll talk about that when it's appropriate. So Lacey Evans. This was a fucking... They do this thing now, not just in NXT, the main roster. They do it more on the main roster, and it bugs me more there. But they like to start feuds on social media.
Oh, yeah.
This was started with some mean tweets, which turned into some backstage vignettes, which is more than we get on the main roster. The main roster is just the mean tweets.
Thank God.
Backstage vignettes and led to this match. So Lacey Evans came out here and did a lot of rest holds, a lot of chin locks, a lot of arm wringers, hammer locks. Not particularly exciting.
And then her finisher, punch,
is a punch, which isn't even a good finisher for the Big Show, and his hand is the size of a frying pan. Lacey Evans is a very average-sized woman.
But she is vaguely military or something because she was in the armed forces.
I think she was a Marine.
Yes.
Which usually is babyface. Usually they're like, oh, they served their country. Put him over as a hero. But
now when she's a woman. Oh.
Was not expecting that. Okay. She did a lot of rest holds. Dakota Kai made a comeback. She started doing a lot of kicks. She did her little Yakuza kick combo thing in the corner. I think she hit 3 instead of her usual 2. She survived the comeback and then cut her off after ducking in Saguri and hit her with the woman's right out of nowhere. Pick up the win.
Out of nowhere.
Out of nowhere.
I think that Orton has trademarked the location from where things come and the direction from where they come.
That was a Jim Ross thing, to be fair.
Where?
He'd said that going way back to the 90s with like when Shawn Michaels would hit a super kick.
Exactly.
Out of nowhere.
Nowhere. Now he has out of no hair.
That's true.
Because he's shaving.
He cut his hair. That's true. Shawn Michaels cut his hair. I still, every time I see him with short hair, my mind just like freezes.
What?
Much like Peter's webcam feed.
Oh.
That's okay. You're back now.
Hooray. No one ever knew.
Cassius Ohno defeated Rick Ramirez in 20 seconds.
Yep. They're like, hey guys, remember Cassius Ohno? He's a wrestler.
Yeah, I don't know what their plan for Cassius Ohno is. I think I've heard that they are going to do the thing where he just stays in NXT for like ever and has matches and helps the young guys learn. But they said the same. They were going to, that was originally the plan for Samoa Joe, but then they're like, "Oh no, Joe's awesome. We got to get him on the main roster, so we can try to destroy him with our booking." But Samoa Joe is too awesome to be. He's the only guy who's too awesome to be destroyed by main roster booking. They keep trying. He's like, "No, I'll make this shit work."
I will get there. Cassius Ohno is like, I will stay on NXT.
Yeah, that's the smart move. It's like that scene in Billy Madison. They're like, I can't wait to grow up. Don't say that. Don't you ever say that.
Preserve his innocence.
Stay down here in Florida as long as you can.
What happened to No Way Jose? He was here for a little bit, and then...
Yeah, he got called up and wrestled like 2 matches. And now is just a geek separating people in pull apart brawls. I mean, I'll be honest with you, No Way Jose didn't have the highest of ceilings, but
I still want the No Way Jose and Cassius Ohno either tag team up or exclamatory feud. The Oh No Way feud, where the thing would be a Say My Name match. As the
I really feel like they missed an opportunity to give No Way Jose a valet named Jeez Louise.
Oh, That's beautiful. You'd never get hired in it at WWE because that was too good.
I'd have to book my own territory, which would be really annoying. Having to deal with people and their egos. No one has a bigger ego than like Joe Schmo, random independent wrestler. I've been in locker rooms with Joe Schmo, random independent wrestler. They are douchebags.
Oh yeah, I can put. It's like that kid who could always put you in a full Nelson, but now he's grown up.
Yeah.
Jesus. I love this from the WWE site. Cassius Ohno is a dangerous man. Period. Enter.
That's actually. I put that in my notes because I laughed so hard about it. So Kairi Sane won the triple threat here. There was a triple threat to crown the next contender for Shayna Baszler. Kairi Sane, who defeated Baszler in the inaugural Mae Young Classic, which... Am I the only one who's a little annoyed that we're getting a second Mae Young Classic before we get a second Cruiserweight Classic?
Yeah, I mean, maybe a little bit. I wasn't super invested in the first Cruiserweight Classic, so it's for me. But yeah,
did you watch any of the first Mae Young Classic? Because we watched a lot of the first Cruiserweight Classic, but I don't think we watched any of the Mae Young Classic except for the finals.
I probably didn't watch any of that either, so I really don't care either way. So I'll just defer to your opinion.
Well, they did the Cruiserweight Classic first, and then they did the Mae Young Classic. So why are we getting the second Mae Young Classic before we're getting the second Cruiserweight Classic?
Because 205 Live has just too much important stuff going on.
Oh, my God. That's right. That's a show that exists. A show I've been told we should be watching, but I can't. I'm sorry.
It's like that friend who's like, RC Cola. I love it. You should try it sometime. Have some RC Cola. You don't want any RC Cola.
It could be just as good as Coca-Cola. You might be right, but I just can't. I'm sorry.
If there's nothing in the vending machine, I will grab an RC Cola. But it is not my first pick.
Yeah. So this was a good match, I'd say. It was pretty much nonstop action from the opening right to the finish. So Cross was at her crazy best. I think this may be her last NXT match. They might have her put someone over on her way up, but she was touring with the SmackDown crew a couple weeks ago. So she might be main roster bound.
Yeah.
She wrapped Sane's body around the ring post and delivered a proper thrashing. Sane came back with a series of suplexes. LeRae demonstrated that she is, in fact, capable. Bringing Sane and Glass to the mat. They did. It was a pretty wacky Tower of Doom spot. There was a point in time, I think last year, where the Tower of Doom was like everyone's favorite fucking spot. So we saw a million Tower of Dooms because it was multi-man mania. Every fucking match had 3 or 4 people in it. So we had a Tower of Doom or 2 on every fucking show. But it's calmed down a little bit, so you can do the Tower of Doom again, and it still makes an impact.
Yes.
And then she hit this wacky DDT flatliner combination. I'd never seen anything like it before, and I don't want to see anything like it ever again because it looked really goofy.
You guys are goofers.
Sane, meanwhile, she came out and kicked out of that. They started chanting "This is awesome" in NXT, while Baszler, who was on commentary, which was not so great.
No, she should not. It's always a rough time for me when some of them, when they do like the guest, commentator, or the guest commentary. It's always like when a kid comes on to a game show or talk show, and I hope desperately that they don't say something terribly embarrassing or awkward.
Yeah. Some people really great on the guest commentary. The Dean Ambrose and the Mark Henrys of the world, and the CM Punks. But Shayna Baszler, not so much. Shayna Baszler, interestingly enough, kind of has the same problem Bobby Lashley has, where they have a very imposing physique for their gender, but their voice does not match.
No. Seems... Shayna, when she got on the mic, she was like, she seems like a really nice lady.
She sounds a little bit like a 12-year-old boy, and she seems like she doesn't really have any malice in her. She seems like she does card tricks, which I guess is her thing. Candice appeared to be on the brink of victory when she nailed Cross with the quebrada. That's not how you spell quebrada. Microsoft Word. It's with a Q, not with a K.
The quebrada.
The only problem is that she lost sight of Kyrie, and as she covered Cross, this camera shot on this was great because you see her go to cover Nikki, and then just out of the corner of the screen, Zayn comes crashing down with the elbow.
That was like the fucking War Games.
Yeah.
With the goddamn Bobby Fish dimension.
Was it Bobby Fish or was that Kyle O'Reilly who? No, it was It was Eric Young.
Yes.
Who was everywhere at once.
Oh, I can't wait for War Games again.
Yeah, I want
back.
I want to watch that War Games match again.
Oh. Now you got me reminiscing. Now I got us reminiscing about really nice NXT.
That was a great
stuff.
show. That was a fucking fantastic show.
Replace just switch out SummerSlam with War Games. No one will notice.
So I'll let you guys in on Sane pinned Cross to win. In between shows here. Peter and I have plans right now to go to Takeover Brooklyn, and he texted me, "What if we replace SummerSlam with another Takeover and go to that?"
Oh, just
SummerSlam tickets is like twice as much as the price of Takeover tickets, which I guess makes sense because it's going to be twice as long. I couldn't sit there in the Barclays Center for 6 hours. I would go stir crazy.
Yeah.
All right, NXT from 7/25/18, a.k.a. the day the Earth stood still. That poster.
Nice.
Adam Cole opened against Sean Maluta, competitor in the aforementioned Cruiserweight Classic.
Yes.
Adam Cole showed that he is just a step above Sean Maluta, downing him in a short match thanks to I think it's called the last shot. His little shining wizard to the back of the head.
Oh, okay. Whatever.
That's what I wrote down. I drink heavily when I write these notes, so it's possible I made it up.
All I know is that, yes, Adam Cole can defeat jobbers.
After his win, he boasted that he is the most buzzworthy superstar in sports entertainment. True. And then Ricochet entered the scene, and he started talking shit about the Undisputed Era and Adam Cole, and was roundly booed for his insolence. Quickest way to turn someone heel: have them talk shit about the Undisputed Era.
Don't touch it. It's our baby.
Not just with me. Like Foles, they booed him when they called him. When he called out the Undisputed Era and called Adam Cole the coward. Adam Cole bailed out of the ring, but suddenly grew a spine when his boys came out.
As he do.
as he's wont to do. Yes. He dodged the challenge of a North American title match at Takeover, but that was made official this week. Daddy Regal returned from the dead to oversee a contract signing between Shayna Baszler and Kairi Sane. He did not look super well. I hope everything's okay. But he definitely looked like he had been dealing with some medical issues, which was why he was off TV for a while.
Big love DDR.
Yeah. Big Papa Regal.
Mania mode. S rank. Full combo.
So he presided over this contract signing. Kairi Sane does not speak a lot of English.
No.
But what they did is they gave her one phrase, and she repeated it over and over again.
And you know what?
It worked,
I would say she's a better promo than Shayna Baszler.
Oh, that's undisputable. I'm glad. See, the thing I like about NXT is like they did it with Asuka, they do it a little with Kairi, and they did it with Almas. They just let them cut promos in Japanese or Spanish or wherever. Like, I don't know what the fuck they're saying, but they're saying with such conviction. I'm like, yeah, you fucking tell them.
There's a reason they picked him up from overseas. Oh. Good job, guys.
I have no idea what you're saying, but yeah, kick her ass, Kairi.
It's so foreign and exotic.
Yeah.
Wow.
She said that Kairi Sane lacks the killer instinct, pointed out she had already beaten her since their meetup in the Mae Young Classic, which I have no memory of, but I'll assume is true.
They're a little more close to the truth on NXT.
Kairi interfered in a match with Shayna Baszler. I don't remember who she was wrestling. Maybe it was Dakota Kai. But I remember she interfered. I don't remember the match after that. Maybe it was a screwjob finish?
Maybe.
I don't know. Called Sane a phony who was holding on to the past.
Big fat phony.
Ipso facto, her win over Shayna in said Mae Young Classic. Sane confidently reiterated that she can beat Shayna Baszler. That was pretty much all she said multiple times, but it worked. Good promo.
Yeah. Was it this? What? While we're not talking about matches, was this the week where Kona Reeves and EC3 started their "who's going to be the better rich guy"?
Yes.
Thing.
They had the promo. I think that's
where it's EC3 he's just going through life being.
Yeah, he's just being EC3. I guess he's a babyface now. I think the babyface turn was when Velveteen Dream walked out on him on the Royal Albert Hall show.
Okay.
That's the only thing I can think of. I don't know if that's their thought on the matter, but that's what I got. Yeah, EC3 had a meeting with Kona Reeves, and he's like, "Oh, that's a nice watch, but it's not the finest." That's a nice whatever, but it's not the finest. And EC3 is like, "Shut the fuck up, dude."
I can't believe I'm going to have this feud with you. I think we're just doing it to get it out of the way so that no one.
Yeah, I don't know if it's going to be a feud. I think it's just they did the match, and
good. It's done. Over. When someone asks, you can point to and be like, "Hey, that's how it went."
That's exactly how that happened, and it was.
Hawaiian Slender Man got his ass kicked. Spoilers.
Not a fan of Kona Reeves, are you, Peter?
No, it's my. I am an entire country, and shitting on Kona Reeves is my national pastime.
I remember you were like, not. This is a recent development because I don't remember you hating Kona Reeves so much the last time we did the show.
What? Well, I said he got better. it's been a fucking thing for me because the second out of the gate when I saw his pube stash face, I was like, "Fuck this guy."
He does have a very hateable and punchable face. That much is
great.
True.
It's great and it's awful. I'm so glad EC3 flexed on him.
Lacey Evans defeated Tanilla Price. It was a squash match. They're building Lacey Evans up for something. I don't know what. Your women's champion is a heel. Lacey Evans is also a heel. I don't know what they're building her up for.
Some mid-card 4D chess. You know these things are.
Unless you're going to put the title on Kairi Sane in Brooklyn, which you should only do if you're calling Shayna up, which I don't know why you do that unless you want to have her be Ronda's first program for the Raw Women's Championship, which would both be interesting and terrible at the same time.
Mm-hmm. I think theory crafting here, tinfoil hat on, it's part of a long-term play to get stuff ready for Evolution.
Yeah, that's probably fair. Yeah, I don't know what the fuck that card's gonna look like.
Yeah.
If you
all the NXT women will be fully prepared. Main roster women will be like, I don't know, I'm in a championship match. Yeah, let's have a TLC women's match.
Oh God, I don't want to see them try to throw Sasha Banks through a table and realize that she's 80 pounds soaking wet and it's not gonna work.
She will bounce off that table.
That Hell in a Cell match was fine. I mean, it wasn't fine. Okay, the beginning was awful. The actual match was okay until they tried a million times to get Sasha to go through this table and not realizing that the reason the tables break so easily for the guys is that they weigh on average 225 pounds.
Mass plus speed equals force.
Mass plus times acceleration.
That's right. Man. Fucking
you lose a
wrestling.
lot when you're not in the groove of it. Like, I know a lot about thermodynamics and solubility curves now, but if you ask me to, like, come up with fucking a glass network anymore, I'm like, I got nothing for you, man.
Yeah, sidetrack, everyone. My boss talked to me. He's like, you remember the iron is a glass former, right? Or, like, a glass modifier? I'm like, oh, yeah. Yeah, I wanted to do glass once upon a time.
That's why it's green when you hold the glass sideways.
Yeah. You hold the grass.
Iron impurities in
Glars.
Glars. And people don't understand the thing.
People don't know. Just repeat it. It'll become popular one day. You know, it won't become popular. The bald fuck.
Yeah, so Satan's shaved scrotum wrestled Aleister Black.
Best theme music in WWE.
Just a chorus of boos.
Suck it, Ziggler, that one time.
I remember that. Remember when he left for like 4 months and came back at the Royal Rumble at number 30 and was eliminated in like a minute and a half?
Oh, Ziggler. What do you do?
Being IC champion.
What? Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, remember he beat Seth Rollins and then retained in that wonderful Iron Man match that the crowd loved?
That was him in that Iron Man match. This is why I don't watch pay-per-views. It's like fucking Clockwork Orange. Or no, it's like when you get your eyelids cut off and you're trying to go to sleep. That's for people who get their eyelids cut off. When they can still go to sleep, their eyes just like, they stop transmitting data. So you're asleep with your eyes open, just sucking it all in. And that's me watching that fucking Iron Man match.
So yeah.
Tommaso Ciampa.
This was a fucking hell of a match. They had a great match here. I love how a random NXT TV main event is head and shoulders better than any match on WWE pay-per-view all year.
The real challenge this year is, at the end of the year, will any of the main roster matches make it into the top 10 matches of the year?
Right now, I can think of one. The men's Royal Rumble from this year.
Yes.
Was really good.
It also depends if we're going to do the rule of only one match from each feud for the sake of variety, because otherwise it'll be like everything with the Johnny Ciampa saga, Velveteen Dream Time.
I mean, we typically do that. But even so, like, there have been some good TV matches. Like, I would say that maybe that one Ziggler-Rollins match from Raw has some argument to be in the top 10 matches in WWE this year. But, man, it's fucking looking bleak for the main roster, I'll tell you what. Charlotte and Asuka had a good match at WrestleMania. Ronda's match at WrestleMania, maybe, in the conversation.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's pretty fucking bleak.
Slim pickings.
I don't know. Maybe it'll be like last year, where like we didn't have anything around this time last year, and then the last bit of the year was actually pretty good.
I don't know. Sure. We got 4 months left, baby.
I wouldn't hold your breath. So
this match though.
Yeah, this match was fucking great.
I think my biggest takeaway from this match when I was watching it was like it felt really strategic. You know, it wasn't like a UK strong style like chain wrestling, you know, little bits in here and there, but it felt to me like, you know, it felt like an intelligent match.
Yeah, it told a good story, and the story was there was this one guy who no one wanted to fucking see win, who they hated with all their heart, and the champion who was doing his best, and then this third guy that the other guy was feuding with came in and fucking screwed everything up.
Yeah.
So let's see. Ciampa did a lot of groundwork, working over Aleister Black's back. Mostly put him in the cloverleaf, and other things.
It was sort of part of the story was like if fucking Aleister hits his black mass, it'll be over. Or if he hits his kicks, they'll be nasty.
That's the typical Aleister Black story.
Yeah. So it works very well with Ciampa because he can just dip and dive and dodge.
Yeah. So Ciampa, at one point in this match, Ciampa pulled up the black mat, exposed the concrete, and Drake Younger was having none of this. Eyebrows ref, former CZW wrestler, took a fucking outrageous bump onto this cement.
Real life jackass bump.
Like flashbacks to his CZW days. I'm sure he never took a bump this bad in CZW. It was beautiful. And then Aleister hit the black mass and had Ciampa down for a 15 count. And it was at this point I knew that he was losing this match. They gave him the visual pinfall to try to keep his heat on him. But I knew somehow, some way, Ciampa was going to claw his way back into the fight, and he did that by literally gouging Black's eye. He grabbed the NXT Championship to clobber Black with it, but Gargano came down, super kicked Ciampa, ripped the title out of his hands, but accidentally hit Aleister Black on the backswing. Ciampa then threw him out of the ring and planted Black with a Angel's Wings, which was a double underhook pile driver. Well, kind of like a facebuster pile driver. I thought it was the closest thing to a pile driver you're going to see on WWE TV.
Yeah. And it's great because you can just put it on Ciampa. Everyone hates him anyways. It's perfect. It's thinking. Triple H is a fucking mastermind genius for smuggling in these illegal moves.
I mean, fucking, I would love if he let them fucking blade at TakeOver Chicago.
Oh.
If I were Triple H at that match, I would have gone back to Gargano and Ciampa backstage, hand them the razor, be like, I assume you know what to do with this, and then walk away. But yeah, he pinned Aleister Black with the Angel's Wings, and the crowd was not happy. I can't recall a negative reaction to a title change like this. Like the closest thing I can think of is that time CM Punk cashed in his Money in the Bank on Jeff Hardy, who had just won the title. Everyone was really happy because everyone loved Jeff Hardy. So it was a cash in and a heel turn at the same time. And that was the closest thing I can think of to this. And that was a decade ago. And it was nowhere near as vile as this reaction here. They were not pleased with this.
It was like the kids at the end of Infinity War. Just their worst fears had been realized.
A lot of sad faces walking out of Full Sail that day.
You had to leave and know that things weren't getting better. Ciampa will return.
Don't. Yeah, so that leads us to this week's episode of NXT, which is was a bit of a nothing happening show, to be fair.
It was sort of the setup where they just like, all right, guys, here's kind of what's going to go on at TakeOver. Yeah. And then things were thrown out of whack.
Heavy Machinery beat the Mighty. The Mighty's heel turn has done nothing for their career. I still don't give a shit about either of them. Tucker Knight looked great in this match, though.
Mm-hmm. Tucker Knight looks awesome. And I guess that's the one upside to the Mighty being heels, is now I can just enjoy when anyone beats on them.
Yeah.
Even more.
Yeah. Tucker Knight, apparently they're very high on him internally. More so than Otis, which is a shame. Because I still think Otis has got more star potential, because he's got a lot more charisma. But Tucker Knight's coming a long way in the ring, and he's not Otis, but he's no slouch on the mic. They won with the compactor.
Yeah. It's a good team. Keep it, because you got the guy with the in-ring skills, and you got the guy with the promo skills, and it's charisma and notability. Like, you see them, and you're like, God damn it, that's a wrecking ball. Wait, that's Otis Dozovich.
Who is this man who is wider than he is tall?
Am I looking at the world's first human football? Did Stewie Griffin get ripped and shove his head into his torso? That's
man. Hey Arnold really hit the weights after the show went off the air.
It's a live action Mike Wazowski, Otis Dozovich.
Mustache Mountain beat two jobbers. It was a quick match. They announced that they'll be challenging the Undisputed Era again. I need to go back and watch that Undisputed Era Mustache Mountain match from a few weeks ago, because we gave it a positive review. But I read in the Observer, Dave Meltzer gave it 5 stars, which I don't know about that. Because Trent Seven was in that knee bar for a long time.
Yeah,
and he worked his leg the entire match. It was a little bit ridiculous.
Yeah, there's the two ways you can go about thinking of 5-star matches, which is either it didn't have any problems, right? It was that perfect match, or it checked all the boxes that it needed to check and did everything they needed to do. that you want in a good match, right? Those are the two ways I think people think about 5-star matches, and I don't think that one fulfilled either of those definitions.
No, it was good. Don't get me wrong. It was a really good match, but I thought that they went a little too far in terms of his resolve. Like, John Cena would have fucking blushed at how long he was in that submission hold.
Yeah. And fucking he was like all fired up during this one too. And Tyler Bate be like, dude, chill. Just chill out, man.
Yeah, no, not selling the fucking hurting they put on his knee at all in this match. He had the brace on. That was about it. Yeah, I'm not a big Trent Seven fan. Dude needs to get a gym membership and lift some weights.
Yeah, yeah. You talk about it.
At least look like the strong kind of fat. Like one of the War Raiders, the fatter War Raider. Like, he's not in great shape, but he looks like he could kick your ass. Trent Seven looks like a guy at the bar who thinks he can kick your ass, but you're like, no, dude, you're just fucking fat.
Yeah. When he went to lift the dude up and he had to fucking... It was very obvious that he didn't have them all there yet. Which, for normal people, sure. It's tough for a person to lift up another person. For a WWE superstar, it's got to be strength of Cesaro.
Especially when you're wrestling and your opponent is going up for you. You should be able to lift them fairly easily.
But he has to get that regrip on. And the camera angle is so gracious as to show us the perfect view of that. Oh.
EC3 beat Kona Reeves. Velveteen Dream came out halfway through this to cut a promo. EC3 was distracted, but Kona Reeves is such a fucking geek that he can't even win off of distraction. EC3 kicked out of his finish, then hit his own finish, and pinned the man.
And now, after Velveteen Dream's walk in and promo, I really, on a Halloween show, I absolutely want him to come out as Mr. Mitsapitlik with the tiny hat and the fucking and the blazer. It's perfect because he's just like, oh yeah, wait, I'm sorry, let's turn the world back to normal.
I forgot the ambiance.
Oh, that promo, so good.
It's a winner of a gimmick, that's for sure. Shayna Baszler wrestled Candice LeRae in a non-title match. This match was a lot better than their Mae Young Classic match, which I think just goes to show that Shayna Baszler has really made some leaps and bounds as an in-ring performer. They wrestled pretty well together. LeRae was working underneath most of the match, but hit a pretty good comeback. The Quebrada, and she hit an Unprettier at some point. And they teased doing the same finish as their Mae Young Classic match, where they were both on the top rope, and Baszler locked in her choke as they fell to the ground. And but Candice was too close to the ropes and broke the hold. They wrestled a little bit more, but then Shayna locked in the choke again, this time in the center of the ring, and Candice was forced to tap out.
Yes.
Baszler went to beat on her some more, but then Kairi Sane ran out in her ring gear, but wearing a leather jacket for some reason.
She's now Kairi wrestling.
I guess.
Rebel pirate. And she gave the anime look. I could see the JoJo menacing kanji vibrating around her.
Gargano came out, cut a promo saying how he's the greatest of all time and how NXT's The A Show because he's on it. Rekindled his feud with the Grandma.
I'm the wrestling boy. Yeah. I'm the one who wins.
Aleister Black came out. Johnny Gargano ran right past him to get some hooks on Ciampa. Ciampa bailed into the crowd. Gargano said that the only reason Ciampa's champion is because of him. Aleister Black agreed, hit him with a black mass, affirmed Gargano's belief, and that set up the match for TakeOver, which unfortunately looking like it might be in jeopardy. Aleister Black tore his groin and had surgery. The recovery time for that, I read, is usually 3 weeks, which would be a week past the day for TakeOver, but maybe he can come back sooner. The good thing about it being a triple threat is that Gargano and Ciampa can do most of the work, and he can just come in and do whatever spots he can do.
Right.
At that point in time.
Less stress on him and his healing groin, which is great.
Yeah. There are rumors, I wanted to dispel these rumors, that he may have torn his scrotum. I don't know how that would be possible on the spot that he got injured. Because I don't want to pull back the curtain or anything, but when you get crotch on the ropes, you don't actually land on your crotch. You hit the inside of your thigh with the rope.
Yeah, your balls. It's your ball pit. You got your armpit, and I guess leg pits is the better one.
Pit, yeah, you hit your leg pit. And Aleister Black's very good, and I can't even imagine how you would botch it to a degree where you tear your scrotum. I don't even know how you tear your scrotum to begin with, to be honest with you.
Well, I could feasibly, in theory, if it got caught in some part of his jock or his gear. I don't know.
It would.
I sit on my balls sometimes.
Yes, but do you put enough pressure to rip the skin? Like, that's hard to do.
I don't know if I was doing it at 87 miles an hour like Aleister Black does in his speed. Wrestling.
I don't want to sit here and speculate too much about the condition of Aleister Black's scrotum. But the official diagnosis is a torn groin, which can happen taking this bump properly, which I'm sure he did because he's no scrub.
Kind of guy who can get some love.
Yeah, if I can take the crotching spot a number of times without tearing my ball sack, I'm sure not Adam Cole, him too, but Aleister Black can do it as well.
Adam Cole will be more likely to get into a spot where he would do something like that. Maybe against Aleister Black. I want to watch that match again.
Wait, no, that was Philadelphia. Yeah. So, yeah.
God damn. I want to talk about that match again. Let me just reiterate for people who didn't fucking watch that and just came into the middle of the year. That was a 5-star match, preceded afterwards by a 5-star match.
Yeah. I think I gave that one 4 3/4 and gave Aldis and Gargano 5, but it was fucking close. Any other night, that's a 5-star match. That was a crazy show. We're like, good luck following that, and then they did. Yeah, so that's going to wrap it up. We'll be back again next week with a regular NXT review, and then the following week with our predictions, and maybe we'll do something live from the Barclays Center. We'll take over Brooklyn. I don't know if we're going to watch SummerSlam together or not. It's all up in the air right now, but we'll have our content, that's for sure. That's not up for debate. So we'll see you then. Bye-bye.
Peace.